everybody, and welcome to the show. I know what you're thinking. Who the hell is that? My name is Nyokabi and I'm your relationship coach. And today, I'll be the one who is hosting you through this episode of Responding to Life because I don't know where Victoria is. And the show must continue with or without Victoria and Katha. But don't you worry, we have an amazing show prepared for you. So we are inviting you to invite your friends, to tell a friend, to tell another friend, and join us in the comment section as we learn about different personality types. Like Victoria keeps on saying, we focus, when you think about personality types, we think about partners, we think about romantic relationships. We have never talked about personality differences at home between parents and children. We haven't talked about personality differences between staffs and employees at our places of work, in our church environment, outside of a romantic relationship. And guess what? That's all we will be talking about tonight. And because I cannot do this on my own, allow me to welcome my co-host, the one and only mental health expert, Angel. Come on over, girl. How you doing, man?
Hi, how are you doing?
I am well. I can't
How are you doing,
complain.
Nyokabi?
I'm doing very well. I can't complain. It's been a crazy week for me, but I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling energized.
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling tired and sleepy. Oh God, I'm trying to be hype, but today is one of those days. So how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm well. Niko poa kabisa. I'm really doing well. I wish
Excellent.
you could I wish you could give me a little bit of your energy. If this is you tired, I
My energy ever is God given. Like God just charges me every single day in another level. But then again, that's what makes me who, and that just makes me who I am. Now, I'm curious to
yeah.
find you, and I want to pose this to our audiences. Would you tell us which personalities do you know? There are four major types of personalities that have been talked about. Scientists have looked at them, they've put them there, but I have four particular ones that I'd like to really talk about. And people will say, oh, I'm an
Mhm.
extrovert, I'm an introvert, I'm extra introverted, all those things. So if you know a personality type, please put it in the comment section and tell us, me, I know this one, including the scientific names,
Mm.
the animal names, all those things I have taught them at Awakening the Life Within You. So all the people who follow me know a lot about personalities. Now, I want to find out, before we can find out from our audiences, I don't know about you, Eva, but how many personality types do you know? And which one are you most familiar with?
Well, okay. As you've said, I know four of them, but I have done the personality test online, the one
Mhm.
that you answer all these questions and then they tell you what is your personality. And I
So which
have done that test. Yeah.
continue? You are saying you've done the test like 4 times and you've never known which personality you are?
No, I know what my personality is. I am a protagonist.
Oh,
And I know that there are 16 personalities.
no,
There
they're
are
actually
16
just four.
kind.
They're just four.
Uh,
All these other things
okay.
is just science being science. But I'm curious to find out. Atumesema protagonist at the who?
I'm a protagonist. A
Protagonist.
protagonist.
So
Yeah.
meaning you're a what and a what?
So a protagonist is actually confuses me because if you asked me about personalities, I would have told you that there are 16 personalities and four temperaments. And today, the relationship expert is saying that there are four personalities. So I'm actually really curious to know the difference. And most people actually do the personality test online. And according to me, I know I'm a protagonist, and a protagonist is this person who um, they are a leader and they are very empathetic to people, sensitive, things like that. Like I know some of my strengths and some of my weaknesses, things like that. So I don't know. I'm curious to hear. Tell us, Nyokabi,
My
what are
goodness.
the four personality
I
traits?
think when I finish this, I'm just going to send in Kata an invoice because why? Anyway, I think when you say there are 16 personality types, I get very
Mhm.
concerned because in everything you can categorize things into a particular group of things. And in those, the reason
Mhm.
why I say there are four personality types, and there's a difference between
Mhm.
personality and characteristics. So these
Mm.
personality types, I say there are four because all those 16 of them, they fall under these four major categories, which is the sanguine, the choleric, the
Mhm.
phlegmatics, and the melancholic.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter how many of them you identify with, you'll always
Mhm.
fall under these four. And when you fall under
Mm.
these four, you have your primary and you have your secondary. And what I mean by your primary is the one that comes out the most. Like now for me, it's the energetic, the happy one. Even when I'm sad, I'm just happy. Even at a burial, I still find a reason to laugh and smile, because of my
Yeah.
my 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 primary personality. And now I have my secondary personality that helps me do what I'm doing right now. Because if I was to
Mhm.
depend on my primary personality, I would not be able to actually be consistent, do a show like this, keep such kind of knowledge in my mind. I would not be able to do it because my air personality is really challenging. Yani, we only know how
Mm.
to be excited about things. So we don't retain information. So it doesn't
Mhm.
matter which scope of things or which groups of things that you want to put yourself with, you'll always come down and fall down under these four types of personality. So without any further ado, I just want to take us through the four types of personality, give us one or two, the major characteristics that really illustrate you fall under these particular personalities. But don't take my word for it. Go
Mhm.
online and look for the four types of personality and take the test and be as honest as possible, especially
Mhm.
melancholics and phlegmatics, which our friend Eva falls under. They have a very hard time answering those questions as much as they can wakiwa na akina Victoria Nikadha hapo, because some of those personalities are challenging. They are very challenging to comprehend and to come up with. So we are challenging you, our audiences, to go online, the four personality types. I hope Victoria can put the link in the comment section and guys can go out there and try. If you want to discover your personality, be as honest as possible. Say, yes, I fall under this category. Yes, I feel this particular way. And then it will be able to classify for you under which where you fall. So allow me to take us through the different types of personalities that are there. I will start with our
Mhm.
first personality type, which is a sanguine. This is a sanguine. Who is a sanguine? A sanguine, I always affiliate a sanguine with the sunshine yellow. The reason why is
Mhm.
because sanguines are the life of the party. And this is the most common personality, and the personality that is people wanamukilianga too is a personality that everybody just, first of all, everybody identifies. And secondly, it's a personality that everybody is trying to tame down, trying to control, try to convince to settle down. So you can imagine if you're at your place of work and you have a sanguine, ye akiingia tu kwa ofisi ni story, ni jokes, akianzia hapa hamalizi, akianza kuexaggerate is from here to there. These are the ones who, when you go for team building, they are the ones who make that team building what it is. The sanguine personality, associating them with the sunshine yellow. When you want to associate the personality sanguine with an animal, you affiliate it with the animal that is called a beam. It's called a what? An otter. Like a small animal. It's actually a roach. It's actually a karat. Like a small animal like this that is always in the
Mhm.
water, playing and swimming and relaxing and just having the time of its life. No worry in life. Just, feeling life as it is. That is our first personality. And today we are calling it type A personality. Like, me, I always have to teach you something new. So, Eva, do you think you fall under this category of people who are playful and joyful and energetic and, you are at my level? Are you at my level of madness?
I actually have a question for you.
Yes,
Does it mean that you have to always be that energetic all the time to be a sanguine?
yes. Yes, you have to be extreme on both ends. Extreme in the sense that you're happy. When you're happy all the way. And
Ah,
when you're sad,
uh-huh.
you're sad all the way. And when you get angry, it's like this and you get over it. You have to meet those characteristics in order for you to fall under their
Ah.
sanguine. So if you don't fall, if you're not an extremist, if you don't talk at the top of your voice, everybody's always trying to tell you, shh, keep it down, shh. You're not a sanguine. You're not a sanguine.
I am. I guess you haven't experienced me on that side.
Well, it's debatable. But by the time we finish this show, we'll have come somewhere. We'll have discovered personality and Nikatha. We'll have discovered personality and Eva. We'll have discovered personalities and Nyokabi. All those things. By the end of this show, we'll know where these guys fall. So that is our type A personality. And now we move on to a type B personality, which is the
Mm-hmm.
cholerics. Woo, the cholerics.
Mm-hmm.
The cholerics are the bosses. I call them the bosses. They are the lions. They are the red hot color. These are the guys that are punch on, you know. These are the guys that wanaendanga
Mm.
kwa harusi yenyewe wanapanga viti na wanaambia watu kwa
Ah.
line, straight line. They automatically become leaders because they are in charge. They know how to delegate. Cholerics, in fact, we don't do most of the work. We do the delegating. Wewe enda pale, wewe kuja pale, wewe. They are bosses. When you think about a choleric, think of it as a boss. When you think about a
Mm-hmm.
choleric, think of it in the line of a lion. We are destructive. Cholerics are destructive. They are the kind of people who will tell you things the way they are. Black and white, there is no sugarcoating. They don't care about your feelings. They will tell you, wewe unanitokesha, toka uende. If you don't fall under that category, you're not a choleric. You could be organized. There are people who feel I have a little bit of cholerism in me because I'm organized, I can delegate, I can work out this. You have to be extreme. You have to be like a lion. And what I mean like a lion is that if you look at a lion, is very destructive. If it goes
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, it goes, it eats all animals. If it's determined to eat a particular animal, it will go for it. And the best way to illustrate the destructiveness of a choleric is if a lion gets into a herd and their puppies, are they called puppies or what are they called? Those two small baby lions. I don't know. Tell
Oh,
me in the comments.
cubs. The cubs.
Cubs. And their cubs, they are the first thing that the lion does is to kill all those cubs after it has won so
Oh,
that it can
wow.
start its own. Choleric personalities are like that. They will step on you to get to where they are going and they are not apologetic about it. And again, it is on the extreme of this side and extreme of that side. Cholerics ndio wakikasirika, they bring the house down. They cause a fire. That's why we call them
Mm-hmm.
the hot red. So if you don't have that, you're not a choleric. I know you're feeling like you're a choleric, my friend, and I can promise you, Mama,
Mm-mm.
you're
I
not a
am not.
choleric.
I am
You're not,
not.
you're not a
That
choleric.
I am not. I
Thank
know.
you very much for admitting. So we are moving on to our third. We are quickly rushing through these things because we want to focus on these personality types in the family
Mm.
setting, in the workplace, and in relationships. Very little on relationships because I've talked about this a lot on Awakening the Life Within You. So today we are majorly, we have under instructions from our CEO, Victoria Nikata, that we do not focus on the relationship bit. We focus on business relationships, family relationships, and workplace relationships. That's where we are at today.
Yeah.
So we are on type C
Mm.
personality type. Unaona sanguines, guys, sanguines. So we are a type C personality type who are the phlegmatics. Now, these guys, the one thing I love about phlegmatics is that they are peacemakers and they are very generous. So the one thing that stands about phlegmatics is that they will give you their all. When you get into a relationship with a phlegmatic, when you're a sanguine, utachoka, utachoka. It even becomes worse. Woo, when a choleric and a phlegmatic, dangerous
Ah.
because cholerics don't care about your feelings and phlegmatics
Mm.
are all about feelings. You do like a small thing like this, you do my friend, these guys, these are the guys who keep their friends. They remember their deskmate in kindergarten. Who remembers their deskmate in kindergarten? Phlegmatics. They remember them. They tell you, my deskmate was Wagoi, Waboi, and what matters worse, and I'm not kidding you, they are still friends with those guys. They keep in touch with their kindergarten na wamezaa watoto watatu, wameolewa miaka 40. They are still friends with their kindergarten guys who was their deskmate. These are the phlegmatics. They are so royal and so true and so giving, consistently giving. Now I know Eva can begin to feel a little bit of a connection here. I know you, so I know your personality. I know where you fall. Even if you don't know Akina Victoria, they can begin to feel wamechoma choma hapo, Nyokabi anawaonea. Guys who will just give you. They don't know you. They don't know where you have come from, and you tell them, "Oh, I have like a small problem. Oh my God, let me solve it." Akina Mother Teresa, they are the phlegmatics. So these are the personality types we are talking about tonight. I want to move to our fourth personality types so that we can say on topic tusifutwe kazi kwa hii kampuni ya Victoria Nikata, responding to life and not reacting to it. The Mela Now these personalities, how? Oh God. Whenever I start talking about Mela I start sweating in the nose
Mhm.
because These are the guys who cut very close to narcissists. Why? Because they are perfectionists. They are very detailed. These are the people you tell, I went to town. They want to know you went to town from where. How did you go to town? You took a matatu. Which matatu? What color was it? The number plates were which one? Was the conductor wearing a conductor t-shirt or not? Was the driver wearing a hat or not? Did you get stopped by the police officers by the time you got? My friend, these are the guys who want the tiny little details about everything, anything, and all things. And because they seek out perfection from themselves and from the people around you. Hawa ndio wanakuanga pastor wa criticism. They're the ones who will tell you, oh, that shoe does not even fit you nicely, and you're the one who's wearing it. They're the ones who will tell you, oh, you just had to do that hairstyle. Yani, you didn't see hapa imekuvuta nywele kidogo. Yani, they seek out perfection in everything that they do. And again, whenever I talk about melancholics, I always want to emphasize that there's a very thin line between this personality and a narcissist. They just cross over kidogo tu, and they cross over. So each of these personality has its strengths, it has its weaknesses, it has its abilities, it has all these things together, put together. Now, I want us to imagine in a work setting, we have a sanguine. We have a sanguine in a work setting. Aki, in a work setting, I want to imagine. By the way, Eva, do you guys have a sanguine in your setting? Kwa ofisi yenyu mko na sanguine? Where you work, do you have a sanguine?
Okay. I actually don't.
Oh dear. So I ever has, oh my God, that is so nice. Aki, live shows. Live shows can really just can show you stuff. So anyway, we will quickly recover because I am a sanguine. So if you have a sanguine in your workplace, these are the guys who don't see any big deal. Hawa ndio wanakujanga asubuhi, wako na energy kama Nyokabi. You wonder, it is Monday, mulikuwa nao out on Sunday, mulikuwa nao on Saturday, mulikuwa nao on Friday, mulikuwa nao on Thursday, but them on Monday they are here. Woo! So woo! And they are ready to go an extra mile. Yani, the energy just never ceases. So imagine you're in the office with this kind of a person. You're working with this kind of person and you just want the office to be quiet. You have a deadline, you have a project you're trying to finish, but this sanguine does not see the seriousness in it. And by the way, did I tell you, sanguines are prone to forgetting. You tell a sanguine you're calling Nyokabi, they hear Wageshi. Because they are rushing through things, they don't stop for a minute. They're just energy. They are always high on energy. So you tell them, hey, Nyokabi, I am Nyokabi, they hear Wageshi. And they'll call you Wageshi from there, moving forward until the end of the world. Wacheni kubeba watu kwa ofisi. Just forgive them. They can't help it. They don't remember. You tell them my name is Eva, they hear Eve. You say it is Eva, they hear Eve. There's no difference between E and A for a sanguine. Hakuna tofauti. Na ukicreate issue, they don't know what's the issue. It's Eva, Eve, same thing. So work with a sanguine. Ever work with a sanguine. I don't know whether ever you have a sanguine in your office. Do you have a sanguine? You must have a sanguine. Sanguines are very common in offices. Do you guys have a
Well, I am not in a work setting, an office setting, but I have come across one. And to be honest, I guess now I understand I am not one, because when I get to the office, I want to concentrate. I want to work. So if someone is making noise and all that, that pisses me off.
Can I tell you something else why you're not a sanguine? Because a sanguine does not keep appointments. A sanguine she will leave Limuru on her way to Kiambu to meet Victoria. But between Kiambu and Limuru, there is Ruaka. There are Ruaka, there is somebody called Eva. And she will go to Ruaka and she will call Eva, Mama uko, Nicole, niko Ruaka, situkunywa chai. And she will totally forget Nikata in Kiambu. She will remember when Nikata was like, Nyokabi, I'm waiting for you. And they're like, oh, ata niko hapa, I'm 5 minutes away. Hunioni? I'm coming. And that time they are 45 minutes. That is why ever you're not a sanguine.
Do you see my face? I'm horrified.
Yes,
I am
those,
horrified. I will be devastated. Oh my
you
god.
would cry. You're the
I
kind of
keep
person who will keep,
appointments.
and you keep
I
time.
am
As
there on
someone,
time.
as someone will get distracted on the way. In fact, you will be sitting there and kuchapa story hapo na watchman. Sanguines will befriend everybody and everyone. Atapark gari hapo aanze kuchapa story na watchman. So huku kazi nawapelekaje? And I forget that alikuwa amekuja kumit Eva, and they'll even get into their car and drive off after they have talked to the watchman. They will
Wow.
not remember, why was I going to that restaurant? And by the way, it's not a big deal. If a sanguine is late for an appointment, you had given them a deadline and they are late, they don't see a big deal. You tell them, hii kazi ilikuwa supposed kufanywa. Okay. And then they start a new story. They move on swiftly. Wewe melancholic, phlegmatic, wewe ndio uko stuck hapo thinking, is this job is supposed to be important? You're supposed to, sanguine dareko. Si. Yeye hiyo story alishamaliza, alichelewa deadline. No big deal,
Ah,
nothing. They are you're not a sanguine ever. I told you by the
I
time you're
am
end of,
not. Oh my god. I am not. Mm-mm.
can you imagine a sanguine in a family setting? Sanguines in the family,
Ah.
ndio wanaendanga family meetings, they are telling everybody stories. The chairman anashinda akisema tumeanza mkutano, karibu andike notemakers kwa meeting ya familia, because they are chapping stories, they are laughing, they are gossiping, sijui who they are pointing, sijui mwana anti nani amekuja, anti Waharia amekuja na tuvia tutupo. I think someone ndio alianza hii story ya anti Waharia. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Because sanguines are the best comedians. You will be laughing. Everything is a joke. That's the beauty about
Oh,
sanguines.
wow.
Amazing. You
Yeah.
see, you're not a sanguine. You're not a sanguine.
I am not. I am
I
not.
promised. I promised. Hebu tuende kwa cholerics at your place. How are cholerics? Which one do you remember about the characteristics I've told you about the cholerics ever? Hebu tell me which one you remember about this
Uh,
choleric.
they are the bosses. They don't. They're not afraid to step on you if they want to
Yes.
get something, and they will kill everything, any kind of distraction. And
Yes.
like I've remembered things like that. They put things on fire just to get what they want, and when they are angry, they can burn the house down. I remember that.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you. And you know the beauty about life is, if I may help you understand me better, you worked with me and you've lived with me. Now let me tell you which is my primary and which is my secondary. And I'm wondering, watu wako kwa comment section. All these guys that I'm
Mhm.
seeing that are watching this show. Si mwende hapo kwa comment section, you ask questions about personalities. Tell me which
Yeah.
personalities you know. Try spelling these melancholics and phlegmatics. Say hi to me. Let me know where you're watching us from so that we can interact with you
Mhm.
and engage with you and get to hear from you as I get to share
Mhm.
my personality type. Now, my primary personality is a sanguine. So hii mshene yote si kutaka. I was born this way. Honestly, I was born this way. And by then, not once I go to settings of businesses and people are telling me, Nyokabi, you're talking at the top of your voice. And I'm like, I know. I know. I can feel it in my jaws, but I can't help it. I'm high on energy. And if they tell me, Nyokabi, we're meeting at 10, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah. Well, this happened. I was coming, but da 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 da. And the explanation should suffice. That is my primary personality. My secondary personality is even worse. Mimi ni
May
choleric.
I guess?
Yes.
Oh, umesema.
Ulikuwa nataka guess nini?
And what you've said.
You wanted to guess
Co-
choleric? Yes.
yeah,
Because I'm
choleric.
Yes, because I'm very organizing. Nikienda mahali napanganga watu kama viazi kwa soko. Nawapanga vizuri vizuri. And I like delegating and assigning, and I like stepping back and letting other people do all the hard work. I have no problem. You do it. I watch. So the combination of the two personality is dangerous. So with that information, Eva, I'm curious to find out which personalities do you think that Nikata falls under? Victoria
Well,
Nikata of responding to life and not reacting to life falls under which one?
I think she's is it phlegmatic?
Yes, that is her primary. She's very much pragmatic.
Yeah, phlegmatic.
Mhm.
And the second, the I don't know. I am confused between melancholic and choleric for her.
Victoria does not have melancholic tendencies in her, by the way.
Ah,
She does not have melancholic. No, 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 no.
ah,
What makes her efficient and detailed is the phlegmatic. Phlegmatics also can be very organized and very detailed about things, but not detailed to the level of melancholics. Melancholics are
mm,
melancholics. If you want to imagine the difference between a phlegmatic and a
mm,
melancholic will have a stainless kitchen, stainless,
eh,
white countertops, white backdrops, beautiful tiles are white, and they'll stay like that for 10 years. White,
eh,
unstained, stainless, clean. If they
mm-hmm,
fold their clothes, they fold them even as a kukata. Wakipiga pasi, they seek perfection in everything that they do, including how they think about things, how they process things. But phlegmatics, because of that calmness and the
mm-hmm,
coolness, the cool blue in them, it helps them settle down and do things very well. They can be very organized, they can run programs very smoothly. And also, the difference
mm-hmm,
again between phlegmatics and melancholics,
mm,
melancholics will always get into fights. If you work with a melancholic, mutapigana because they'll always seek
mm,
to be at the top. Phlegmatics will always negotiate. If you tell a phlegmatic at you,
mm,
oh, they'll always try to negotiate. They'll try to say, oh, let's do this, or let's work like this, or they'll always, they are very compromising, they are very accommodating, they are very tolerant. Melancholics, they are not. It's either their way or the highway because they believe
eh,
what they have analyzed and what they have done is perfection. So you can't meet that perfection. So there's a lot of difference between phlegmatics and melancholics, especially when it comes to the
mm,
positive sides and the negative
mm-hmm.
sides or the strength and the weaknesses. They are very, very different. I am tempted to hear what Jacob is saying over here. I don't know whether ever you can see the comment from Jacob. What is he saying?
Now I understand my sister-in-law. She talks a lot and loudly. That's actually, she literally can't whisper. When she whispers, she feels pain.
That is a
Oh,
sanguine.
wow.
If you tell a sanguine to whisper, she's not going to whisper. Her whispering will be heard
Yeah.
across the room. And she has
Oh
whispered. And
my
when you tell
God.
you're talking loudly, they're like, no, but I'm whispering. You're not
Mm.
whispering. You're talking at the top of your voice. And they always have stories. It's good to understand your sisters-in-law so that you accommodate them much, much, much
Yeah.
better. I have something else from here from Victoria. I don't know where she's commenting from. She went MIA and she's saying, oh my God, Jacob, she's laughing at Jacobs and saying, you're talking about me. Oh, yes, the stories are ending. Stories and please hit us in the
Mhm.
comment section and let us know what you're thinking and what you're learning so that we can be able to engage with you. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate. Now we would like to take a break right now, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Please do not touch that dial. Stay right there. See you in a bit.
Hello, my loves. This is Victoria and Kata from Responding to Life. First and foremost, I'd love to thank each and everyone who has been supportive of Responding to Life ever since we began our work. Responding to Life aims to empower, inspire, and motivate lives. And this we do all across our social media platforms, especially on our YouTube channel. Now, our vision is to be of impact to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives, where we aim to move from a negative mental state to a positive mental state. Thus, our focus is on mental health and daily life issues. Our mission is to identify issues that concern the youth especially, but all other individuals, and be able to be of help through counseling, through videos, and much, much more. So stay connected and let us know how we can be of assistance, and also you can be of assistance by keeping the motivation train moving. See you on the internet waves.
Oh, so sorry about that. Aki nimesahau kuhakisha mic. So like I said, welcome to the internet waves. I've learned something new. We are on the internet waves and today we are talking about personalities and not just personalities. We are talking about personalities at our workplace, personalities in families, personalities where else. We had three places we are talking about personalities. See, the sanguine in me has totally forgotten the topic, but we are And I know Victoria is trying to lose her mind. But sasa Nyokabi ni nani? Nyokabi is a sanguine. She will always forget. I know somebody who would eat me. I know somebody who would eat me. I'm a colleague who would literally chew me if he was in charge of this show and I said that right here. So anyway, we are talking about personalities between friends. We're talking about personalities between family. We're talking about personalities at our workplace. And before I invite my friend Eva, I just want to break down these levels and see how those personalities affect our relationships. Now, if you have your friends, it's good to understand the personality types of the friends that you have. Because, like I said, if you're a friend with a sanguine, you need to keep reminding them, hey, we are meeting at 2. Please don't get distracted and go a different way. And the thing about understanding personalities is not for you to use it to criticize the person you're dealing with, it's for you to use it to help them behave better or to help them accommodate you better, to improve the way they are, right? So it's very important that you invite these families, that as you deal with your friends and you understand their personality types, you are able to work with them that way. When it comes to family, it's very important as a parent to understand the personality type of your child. Because if you don't understand the personality type of a child, for instance, you have a child who is a sanguine or a child who is a melancholic. Melancholics are known to be quiet and withdrawn, but they are very emotional. Don't let their silence and their withdrawal confuse and you assume that these guys are not emotional. Anything you do to them deeply hurts them, but they don't express it. So they pile it up within themselves. So as a parent, it's very important for you to know which personality type and where does my child fall under, so that when you're dealing with issues, you deal with them at that particular time. And by the time we get to the end of this show, we'll have seen how to work with this kind of people. When it comes to the workplace, you're dealing with a sanguine, you're dealing with a choleric, you're dealing with a melancholic who is seeking perfection, who keeps on redoing the project and redoing the project and redoing, they can never really achieve the perfection that they want. Then you know how to convince them to come out of that space and actually agree that the project is good enough and it needs to be released now. They need to meet a deadline. So some of these things are the things that we are talking about. I want to invite Eva and find out, where are you, girlfriend? I can see you now. Welcome, girl. Okay.
Hi. Hi, thank
You're,
you.
you know, if you keep quiet there in the background when your camera cannot see you, we are learning about this person. Like, we're practical. I will forget you there in the background.
I'm here, Nyokabi.
You can't afford to be quiet. Your copy will forget you. I have to stay within my vicinity where I can see you so that I remember I am not doing this show by myself.
Hey, now I know.
Okay.
Now I know.
But now I'm curious to find out, because you're a mental health expert. Some of
Uh-huh.
these personalities that we have talked about, which are some of the
Mm-hmm.
challenges that you have identified that maybe you could pick out and say this particular type of personality really struggles with dealing with this emotion, with dealing with these challenges, or with dealing with these issues, coming from a mental health expert, especially when it comes to the way they behave around other people, around friends, around family, around the workplace. How do they really behave in the state ya akili yao iko namna gani, iko namna gani?
Well, I think I've come across a melancholic and I have seen them struggle, especially if they want things to be done in a particular way and everyone else in the family doesn't bulge, like they want neatness. They
Mhm,
need you to do things. I don't know, like the kitchen should always be clean at that, like even if you were eating at that moment, like you should leave it clean. After eating, make sure you clean your plate and all that. And maybe they are dealing with a sanguine and you find them really struggle. And one thing I've come to understand, like on a mental health platform, is that you find that someone who has a need for perfection on the outside most likely feels imperfection from the inside. Like they feel
mhm,
imperfect, so they need to keep on. They need to make it happen on the outside, and that's sad because now they need to work on the reasons as to why they feel the need to make everything and everybody perfect, like the environment
mhm,
has to be clean, where you're stepping on, where they, like where they live, whoever they are staying with, and if you do not do things according to them, they get really aggressive and very angry. And
Mm,
it's actually really a tough personality to work with or even to deal with.
mm,
And I have actually even worked with one in one of my previous jobs. The lady alikuwa anasema like she wants her tea made in a specific way. I'm telling you, Nyokabi, if you do not make that tea the way she wants it, and she wants it to boil for an extra 10 minutes, and it has to have majani look like, hey, I'm telling you, you will have a terrible day that day. I even usually preferred like if she made it herself, and because even if you do your best and you do exactly what she says, she will still complain about it. And that's not just it. It created a lot of conflict in the office, and it created a lot of because like if in case you were using a certain file and then she comes and finds that you have disorganized the way she arranged it, or even the way you want, like the way she likes them placed, and then you every no one will have peace in that office. And like I wish I understood all these things before, because they would have helped me. Although, like you said, I'm phlegmatic, so I will try my level best to do things the way she wants, for peace sake, because I don't like conflicts, and I will
mm.
try and do my level best to ensure that there is none. But as in, it reaches a point whereby it gets to your nerves. You're scared to even walk, because how do we, like, if I walk in this in this manner, is it too loud? Is it going to make them mad? And I think that's a terrible environment to be at. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a terrible, especially when they're not self aware. The beauty about becoming self
Mm.
aware is that it helps you a lot. Now, Jacob is saying Nyokabi should host a show and interview herself. Jacob, thank you for that beautiful. May God bless you. You understand me. Oh. By the way, I can definitely host my own show, interview myself, answer the question.
That will be a nice. I don't know. It will be comic.
I think he needs to come and watch Awakening the Life Within You. Then he will see exactly what you're talking about happens right there every Thursday night. So I have another one with John who is saying, I realized my younger brother is a melancholic. He ran away from home because of how he was being
Wow.
absconded. Oh my God.
Oh.
He was quiet and he was so quiet until he disappeared. He's never showed up until now. Oh wow. You know,
Hey,
my
Pole.
that is so sad. Maybe you can reach out to him because melancholics always come across as withdrawn. People assume that
Mm.
they don't need love, they don't need affection, they don't need to be appreciated. And I really wish that John would reach out to this guy, just send him a message and say, "Hi, how are you doing?" Just checking in on you, trying to find out how you're doing because of their mental state. Melancholics are prone to isolation and withdrawal, just like Eva was teaching us their mental health. And these guys
Mm.
can actually go to the very extreme of mental health if as a family we don't take caution. But thank you so much for realizing under which personality he falls, because now you can be able to deal with him better. You can show him more love and affection. Please just reach out, send him a message. Even if he ignores you, keep reaching
Mm.
out. We are going to the comment section. We have Robert, who is saying, like me, when something happens to I like to keep quiet and I hate to talking to people. I hope it's not bad. Robert, it's not a really
Mm.
bad thing. It's because for you, I believe you're either melancholic or phlegmatic. Those are the ones who like to keep things to themselves. It's because it's hard for you to trust. You see, sanguines we easily
Mm.
trust. That's why I say the sanguine will meet the watchman at a gate na tutachapa story for 2 hours. Tutachapa story na makanga, tutachapa story na dereva. Yani, the Boda
Mm.
guy becomes our best buddy. As in, we interact with everybody, and a sanguine will open their entire world to you, their visions and their hopes, and they'll pour them on you, like literally. But for a melancholic and phlegmatics, they are more reserved with their feelings. They are more afraid to be broken, especially melancholics. Melancholics are very scared of being disappointed. They are horrified. In fact, it shivers them that they can trust you with something and you become unfaithful. Same thing to phlegmatics because they get very hurt because they've invested their
Mm.
emotion into that relationship. So when you're not faithful, you get broken. So it's not a bad thing, really. You just need to identify a melancholic like you or a phlegmatic like you who understands the intensity or the importance of that thing that you want to share. And if you're talking to a choleric or a sanguine, you make sure they have understood how important it is for you, for your privacy, how sensitive that information is to you, how rejection feels to you, how embarrassment feels to
Mm.
you, so that they handle you better with a lot of care and concern. So thank you so much, Robert, for sharing that with us. Victoria is saying, this is too funny. I know, right? You're coming in the house with Eva. We are doing our thing. Although Eva just, Nyokabi
Yeah.
just keeps we're talking, but goes out to show the different personalities. If it was Victoria, tungekuwa hapa sisi wote wawili. She would not be letting me talk alone. But Eva, she's just different but pragmatic.
I'm a listener, Nyokabi. But I wanted to ask you something.
Yes,
Is
please.
it possible? Is it possible to have like all the four, but at
Yes.
different levels?
Yes, it's
All the
very
four
possible.
personalities at different levels.
Yes, it's
Because I could
everybody.
point out some tick in almost all of them, but I can tell where I am strongest at than the others.
I said you have to have a primary and a secondary. Everybody has the four in them. Everybody actually has the four in
Mm.
them. But there are two that really stand out, and there's one that stands out above the two. So there's one that really
Mm.
makes you who you are. You know, like now, for
Yeah.
example, if you go somewhere, if you come to any of my live training, the one thing that I
Mm.
get told so much is, Nyokabi, your energy is on another level. That's the personality that really just comes out the most.
Comes out. Yeah.
I have the most fun. I'll dance to any song, I'll do to anything, I'll laugh to anything. So that's the personality that mostly comes out. So if you're a melancholic, you'll find you're more withdrawn, you're more looking for details. And when you talk, you're criticizing, you don't see anything good. You think the world is coming to an end. You think that the
Mm.
fuel levels cannot get any worse than where they are. I can guarantee you they can get to 150, they can get to 200 bob. I mean, it can
Ah.
get worse than where it is. But when you're a melancholic, you think the world has come to an end. This fuel can't go any higher than this. Satan has reigned on this country. So you're the pessimist. You don't see anything good in life. So if you're that type of a person, that's a personality that always comes out. You're looking for a beautiful girl like Nyokabi, but then again, Nyokabi has this weakness or has this one, and you still, that beauty is not flawless, is not perfection. You have a question mark at the back of your head. Could she just have a little
Yeah.
bit of eyes if God had just carved them like this?
Mm.
All melancholics and pragmatics, you always find yourself just giving. You give your time, you give your love,
Mm.
you give your royalty, you give your money, you give your clothes, you give your funds, you give everything. You give people, oh, I have this. Like now, there's somebody who I'm going to say here in this group of ours. Somebody who says, oh, I have this platform. You can go ahead and go and learn on my behalf and continue and graduate. Sasa nikuulize, wewe umeenda kwa hiyo course, mimi nina graduate aje kwa platform yako? You give too much. You give everything. Unabaki bila. You're royal. If you're Nyokabi's friend, if ever counts Nyokabi as her friend, I am the friend in the morning, at lunchtime, at night, at midnight, through and through. Through, that's a phlegmatic. But sasa Nyokabi sang with me, I'm your friend when you're with you. When I leave, I'm somebody else's friend. By the way.
Uh,
So it's important to understand these different personalities so that especially when you're dealing with family, you can be able to kind of comprehend. I want to highlight, we have Victoria who is, hey Victoria, nikatha, kwani ulihama kwa show uende uko kwa comment section, umatuchanja, anasema this is why we are having the conversation. Most people don't remember that we can't only have those conversations when we are trying to pick out a potential partner, but also having them for the people we spend most of our times with. Absolutely, this is what we are talking about today with Eva. The importance
yeah,
of
and that's
understanding.
true.
Yes, go ahead, Eva.
And that's very true, Nyokabi. And I actually think that it's very important that we highlight how our audience, like, if from now that they know the various personalities, how they can identify, or even what they can do to identify these various personalities. And I can actually point out some of the points that on how they can um be able to identify and observe in their workplaces, at home, and even with friends. And one of
Mm.
them is by being observant. Like you can observe people's behavior, their reactions to things, their
Mm.
body language. Like maybe you can say, if you say something and someone's body language can indicate whether they are angry, or maybe they didn't like what you said and all that. It can help you on what to do next. Their
Yeah.
reaction to things, their body language. Even you can, even being empathetic, you can ask yourself, like, if I do this, or if what I said, if I was the one who received it, like, how would I respond to it? And it can help you in identifying various personalities, and that is how you can be able to communicate well with people, especially in the workplace. It can help you with sales, especially if you're in sales, if you're trying to sell a product in the workplace. With friends, it can be able to help you to be assertive, and tell them, you can be assertive and tell people how you feel if this and this happened and you don't like it. And it can help you communicate and show them, like, you can know what to say. Especially if I am talking to a sanguine, I will know what to tell a sanguine. If I'm talking to a phlegmatic, I would know what to tell a phlegmatic. If I am talking to a melancholic who is very perfectionist, and like, I will know how to talk to them. And it can help you in decision making, especially in the workplace, even when dealing with a family member. It will help you to know what to do, what to say. And I think this is really, really important. And I am grateful, Yokabi, for clarifying this for me.
Awesomeness.
Yeah.
I think we are both learning so much from each other, and I want to go back to the comment section. I don't know hapa Robert anajaribu kusema nini. True, it's hard to me. Do the 5. Do the
Huh?
5. Maybe you can clarify for me, Robert, there in the comments below what you're saying, because, like, again, I'm a sanguine. Blue is blue. I think it's blue. Hi, Jacob is saying, does location determine your personality, by the way? Because if you compare people from Nairobi and Mombasa, Nairobians are snobs, coastal people are gossip. First of
Oh,
all,
wow.
Jacob, there's a difference between personality traits and
And
temperaments. Okay, so
yeah.
temperament is what makes you who you are. Personality, these are personality traits, isn't it, to behaviors that people pick from Nairobi, from the environment that you have come from. But a personality temperament is inborn. You're born that way, but in the
Mm.
process you get shaped. Like sanguines get shaped a lot because people are always telling them, Kira, you're making too much noise. Calm down. Why are you always playing? So they are taught, or they are forced to contain themselves. Melancholics also experience a lot of this social stigma where people are saying, why don't you ever say anything? Like what our friend there shared and said, their brother alinyamaza, kanyamaza, disappear, so they don't even know where he is, But you're always
Yeah.
being provoked to say something, to do something. If you are a friend, if you're a phlegmatic and you have a friend like me, I'm always asking you, sasa ulimpea kwa nini? Why did you give them? Are they your brother? Are they your mother? You gave them quiet. What did they do to deserve it? So every personality always goes through those challenges of social settings where people are always challenging you to be different than the way you are. But personality traits are things we pick up depending on where you grew up. Some funny habits. Like, for example, let's use our watu wanaendanga wakitema mate. Hatusemi ni akina nani, but wako. So a whole generation, a whole community, a whole country, they walk around spitting. You wonder, what are they spitting? Where are they spitting? Where are they dirtifying the streets? But it's their way of life.
Oh, yeah.
Your way of life and the way you culture really doesn't shape your temperament, but it does shape your behavior. For example, you have these people who are all entire family, they are all drunkards. Ukipatana na baba yao, anko yao wako walevi, wakienda family meeting kupanga mazishi, everybody is they cannot have a meeting because none of them can complete a sentence because they're all drunk.
Wow.
But that's not a personality trait. That's not a personality temperament, it is a personality trait. These things that you
Mm,
pick depending on where you have grown, your way of life. You
mm,
find that the Kikuyus behave a certain way. Nasikanga watu wa Nyeri,
mm.
ukicheza na bibi ya Nyeri anapita na transformer, because that's the way they have been cultured, they have been brought up. If you go to a coastal woman, they have their way they treat their husbands, the way they walk around. If you go to a Kikuyu woman, bwana ni bwana. I mean, bwana is my husband.
Nyokabi.
Yeah, lakini ati ile bwana karibu mangu jo nikukande sijui nikukarange, utajua ujui Mkikuyu.
Na
Because this is the
kamukimoke
way we are.
hauriko.
They're the ones who ask,
Oh, wow.
madam, umechelewa wapi, bwana wako amekula nini? Kwani naona nimebeba kibiriti na jiko hapa? Those are the Kikuyu. But in coastal,
Oh, wow.
they have gone home, amepika mahamri, sijui amepika sijui viazi vya karai, sijui amekaranga wali, sijui amechemsha matomoto ati amngoja mume wake. So these are not personality traits. These are not personality traits. These are just traits of the way you're cultured and nurtured. So we have Emmanuel who is saying, I am one of the quiet ones. You will walk into a room with just me in it and probably won't notice me. What am
Oh,
I?
wow.
You probably fall under a melancholic. But I would encourage you,
Melancholic.
what I would encourage you, Emmanuel, to do is to come out of that fear. Because the reason why that makes you, it's not
Mm,
because you can't hold a conversation, or it's not because you
mm,
don't have anything to say. You do have something to say. What holds you back from saying that is the fear that this person will
mm,
judge you, or they'll reject you, or they'll misunderstand you. So maybe give it to chance, especially if you meet sanguines. Sanguines, we really don't care much. Start any topic.
mm.
Ukiongea mambo ya politics and we don't know anything about, we'll tell you, I mean, me at us watching in za Kenya zenenibo. And then you can never get it wrong.
Yeah,
With a
that
different
is so
personality
true.
that is not a melancholic. Unless you want to start up a conversation, Emmanuel, with a melancholic like you, then you must know. You must back up the information you want to share with some knowledge, because if you start documentaries, they know. They have wamesoma,
Yeah.
wanajua what's going on, they are fully aware, I know ever you want to say
Yeah,
something.
and
Say
and
something.
I think another thing you can tell Emmanuel is that
Mhm.
by reading books and actually
Mhm.
being up to date with everything that's going on, it can help you to
Yeah.
start a conversation. And
Mhm.
believe you not, even you can ask someone a very silly question like, "Oh, the weather is really
Mhm.
bad," and from there, someone will take over.
Yeah.
But it will help you to start up a conversation, because I do believe every single person wants to be loved, wants to have some
Mhm.
companionship, and that's why we create friendship. That's why we need family, and that's why actually
Mhm.
we need a good relationship with colleagues. And actually I came up across this thing that said that having a good relationship, or even a good social life, is impactful to your health. You
Mhm.
actually live longer, and you need a sanguine in your life. We all need each other in this world. We need every characteristic. A sanguine needs a melancholic who will help them, calm down kidogo, afanye kazi. And I
By the
think
way, on
we all.
that note, Eva, to disrupt your line
Yeah.
of thought, because I am a sanguine, I think for me,
Yeah.
what makes me very efficient in the things that I do is because I am married to a melancholic phlegmatic. So he'll always
Wow.
make me very, yeah, he'll always make me very consistent. You see, he'll always ask me, you are
Mm.
supposed to be having a show at 8. You're not home. It is 6:30. So explain to me from where you
Yeah.
are how you plan to get here in good time to do the show, because you always need that
Yeah.
somebody to put that sense into your head, like you're still sugar, you're
Mm.
still sleeping, and you're going to a particular place to do a training. From here
Mm.
to that place, it will take you an hour. Na amehesabu traffic, amehesabu slow drivers on the road,
Mm.
amecalculate how fast I can
Yeah.
drive. So and then you take 1 hour to shower and put on your makeup and pick out the dress you want to wear,
Mm.
and you're still sleeping. You will be late with 30 minutes. And I can tell you for sure, I am, if he tells me that in the morning, I will be late for those 30 minutes. But because of his
Mhm.
presence in my life, I'm always on time. I stay focused. I don't
Mm.
get distracted on the way, because he keeps me accountable. So it's important that you've
Yeah.
highlighted we need all the different personalities. He'll remind me and tell me,
Yeah.
"Stop that the pragmatic in him, he loves peace. But me, I'm a sanguine
Mm.
choleric. Mi ni wale watu wa tuende tumpige. Mimi sitaki calm down. Tunampigia nini? You know,
Yeah.
how are we
They will
beating?
have to.
We have to say why we are
Yeah.
beating them. Yeah, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. What's
Mhm.
going on? But him, he's always calm down. Where are we beating? If it makes sense, we go beat them. I'll join you. We go beat them. But in the
Yeah.
process, you put
Mm.
things into perspective and you put things. So it's important to have those different personalities. Just to agree with you, we need all four. So go
Mm.
ahead and continue with what you
Yeah.
were saying. We have a compliment from
Yeah,
Victoria.
we need all four personalities, and it is important to know. For example, like Emmanuel can find out what are the things that make him afraid to talk to people,
Yeah.
and if it is past trauma that has led him to have the lack of trust or something, that you can try and find out. How you can be able to work on it. And imagine, there's nothing under the sun that cannot be worked on. You can work on anything. You can work on your fear for people. You can work on being assertive. You can work on understanding other people. Maybe it's even lack of understanding of other people's personalities and how to approach them. Maybe the energy is too much, or maybe you don't know whether you'll piss them off, and maybe you can use the behavioral tactics that we have talked about on how we can be able to identify these personalities. And if you're able to identify, it will help you with communication. It will help you in case of a conflict, you'll be able to know how to handle the conflict. It will help you to be able to even, like, create relationships with these people. And
Mhm.
it just starts with a high. You don't have to commit completely. You have to, um, for you to be able to create any kind of relationship, you have to start a conversation. And I think that is important.
I like that tip that you have given. Any conversation with any personality type, sanguine,
Mm,
melancholic, phlegmatics, all of us, all the four personality types, either extreme, because all personalities are extreme right or extreme left. It just starts with a
mm,
simple hi. It starts with a
yeah.
simple hi. And now we want to go
Mm,
on a short break. And I know Victoria
mm.
is ready in the background to take us through a very short break, and we will be right back. And we have to keep
Sanguine.
saying Victoria is here.
People with a sanguine temperament are enthusiastic, active, and social. They are extroverts who enjoy meeting new people and being part of a crowd. They find it easy to socialize and often make new friends by virtue of being social, outgoing, and charismatic. Sanguine personalities often have a hard time doing nothing and may be prone to seek out risky activities as a way of keeping themselves stimulated. Choleric. Choleric individuals are extroverted, but lack the carefree attitude of the sanguine temperament. As a result, they are determined, independent, decisive, and goal-oriented. Fact-based and logical, they typically enjoy being in charge, since they have many leadership qualities as well as ambition. On the other hand, they're also disagreeable and may be prone to anger when things do not go their way. Phlegmatic. Phlegmatic individuals are peaceful, quiet, and easygoing. They are sympathetic and care about others, yet try to hide or downplay their emotions, seeking instead to influence others through gentleness and cooperation. They are good at resolving conflicts and problems by way of making sensible compromises, but on the other hand, they may also be too self-sacrificing or unambitious in the name of avoiding conflict. Melancholic. People with a melancholic temperament are intense, serious, and deep. They are sensitive and capable of deep emotion. They have a well-developed eye for the tragic or sad side of things, and may easily be disappointed by the coarseness of the outer world. As a result, they tend to keep to themselves, or only really open up around a select few individuals with whom they can exchange feelings and ideas.
Wolo bakinine, wolo bakinine.
Hashtag stolen. Hashtag stolen. Hashtag stolen from awakening the life within you. Hashtag stolen. Lazima niseme. But that kaklipu imetuletea shida mingi sana, but we still have to claim. It's very important to own who you are. Don't try to be Nyokabi.
Yeah.
And then it's very important when you're talking about personalities at a family setting, at our workplace, because
Mm.
and with friends, because we always try, like now for example, I have a lot of people who always try, especially when I'm doing training and they're also trainers or they're coaches, they're always going like, oh, I want energy like Nyokabi, I want to be talking like, I want to crack jokes like Nyokabi, but you're not Nyokabi, right?
Yeah,
So
you're
you
not.
own who, yeah, you own who you are. Be true to yourself. Don't go
Mm.
changing the shape as time goes by. So we need to close this show. We are over time now. I want to give Eva an opportunity to give us just a few tips, precise tips like 1, 2, 3, 4 tips on how people can relate with people in a family setting, in particular in a family setting.
Well, one of them is by listening, Nyokabi. You know,
Yes.
there's power in listening. For example, if you tell me something about yourself, and I will, one of the things, if I listen carefully, I will be able to ask a very empathetic question that will help us to create a relationship or even communicate and bring us closer to each other. And that is one of the ways you can be able to understand the different personalities in your home. Maybe you're dealing with a sanguine in your home, and yeah, I know they're loud and everything, but pay attention to what they're doing, what they're saying, and maybe you will be able to ask a question um, towards them that is going to help you. It's going to help you get close, and you'll be able to communicate with them in a way that they will understand. Remember,
Mhm.
they are very forgetful, so like you'll be able to know what to expect, like to avoid disappointments, especially if this person has disappointed you on several occasions, like you've bangered some like a meetup and they have never um kept time and all that. Now you will know. Maybe give them a 2 hours heads up. You tell them we're meeting at 10, but in the true sense, you're meeting at 2. So that in case they are late, they will get there earlier than you. You will know how to handle these people. Another tip is by observing reactions. Maybe you're dealing with a phlegmatic, someone who is very sensitive, and they will not be able to talk to you about how they feel, or maybe they're not assertive enough and all that. Maybe you can be able to be empathetic enough to um, maybe check out their body language, see how are they reacting to maybe something you've said and all that, and you'll be able to ask yourself, how will they um if I am phlegmatic, as in how will I be able to react to this, how will I feel if someone told me this, and it will help you to understand or even create a better bond with them. And another tip is that maybe you can try and be um, emotionally intelligent in a way that, I don't know, like try and be empathetic. I know I've said it so many times, but maybe you can ask yourself several questions about maybe this person, like how will I feel if this happened to me, how will I feel if someone said this to me, and if they are going through something and they're telling you about it, you'll be able to ask the right questions, like maybe you can be able to comment and say that, oh my god, that must have been very painful for you. uh, I'm sorry this and this happened, and or maybe they had a lovely day, and maybe you can try and you can say that, oh, that must have been amazing. Those are some of the tips that you can use to be able to have a good relationship with them. And I think for now, Nyokabi, I think uh
Good job.
I think when people listen, observe behavior, pay
Mm,
attention to other people, yeah, you pay
Mm.
attention to what they are going through, because not everyone, like we've seen even in our comment section, not everyone is able to tell you how they feel, not everyone is
Yeah.
able to come and talk to you. And I think it's really important to be very observant and even listen. Especially when someone is not very talkative, be
So
observant,
I like,
listen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like the tips that you
Mm,
have given. They are really amazing. They are capturing. And I'll just give one tip
mm,
because we really need to close this show. We are over time. My one tip
mm,
is acceptance.
yeah.
Acceptance in the sense that if you want to be accepted the way you are, then you must accept the other person the way they are. They are
Yeah.
not a movie. Don't try to edit them. Don't try to correct them. Don't try to tell them, oh, lower your voice or speak a little bit lower or speak some more, you speak too little, or maybe stop giving so
Yeah.
much and reduce how much you give. It's good to be self aware
Mm,
and it's good to create that self awareness. But also at the same time,
mm,
the major key about the whole thing about learning personalities, your own personality and the personality of the people around you, is so that you can exercise something that is called acceptance. Accept a
mm.
sanguine the way they are. We are loud, we are happy, we are proud of it. Accept melancholics the way they are. They are quiet, they are withdrawn, they are reserved, they are
Mm,
okay in their space. It's good to, in that, if you accept them, then you'll be able to correct the weaknesses with a lot of love, with a lot of
yeah.
caution, and with a lot of respect. Because if you're looking at somebody and you're thinking, because you're quiet, you get irritated by their noise, be
Mm.
cautious of, be self-aware, because your silence bothers somebody else and my loudness bothers somebody else. So acceptance for me is the key. Now I want to invite you tomorrow to our show, Awakening the Life Within You. We'll be having an amazing conversation about self-assessment. Why do you need to
Wow.
assess yourself? Why do you need to look back and do an assessment? We talk about the stages of assessment. What should you do?
Mm,
What are you looking at? When you look at those things, how does that help you progressively grow in your life? This is Responding to Life with the founder, Victoria Nikatha. Wednesday wisdom night, and we are looking forward to seeing you same time, same place. Invite your friends to invite their friends to invite their friends. The videos will be available on Facebook, on YouTube. You can always go there and rewatch again and share with your friends.
mm,
Before I leave, I can see there's a comment that's been added right there. Victoria Nikada is saying, so thank you so much to Eva and Nyokabi GK Kamau for the wonderful
mm.
show. You are very much welcome. I hope
Yeah,
hatujakuangusha,
you're welcome, Victoria.
hatujakuharibia show. I hope hatujakuangusha bwana. I hope to maintain at your level of, because I don't know, Victoria just does her things at her own caliber. Yani, we hope we have been
Mm.
able to stay at that caliber of and I hope kizungu wake hatujanini sana, hatujashoma, lakini kama tumeshoma utusamehe. So this is Responding to Life with Victoria Nikadha, being assisted today by Nyokabi GK Kamau and Eva
If the
the
angel.
Angel. Yes, on all social media platforms. She's an
Yeah,
artist and she has amazing content on YouTube. Please go there, watch her, subscribe, and please
yeah.
leave comments. The subscription is free for YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow
Yes, please.
Awakening the Life Within You. So we
Yeah.
are through. We'll see you next
Bye
Wednesday.
bye.
We promise you, baby Victoria.